Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Memory Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our NFL Week 10 preview between the Denver Broncos and the Carolina Panthers. Now let's look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with the Broncos.
Instantly, when you look at this matchup, you look at Von Miller and Elvis Dumervil being contained defenders versus Cam Newton in the rushing attack of the Carolina Panthers. But realistically, in my opinion, they're going to have to be worried about those guards coming around pulling on those power plays that the Panthers love to run. You got to be able to stop that at the line of scrimmage. Mike Adams on the strong side, the strong safety, being the field guy against those outside runs. That has to happen in order for the Broncos to have success. Now, offensively, I would like to see more Ronnie Hillman in the ballgame. I think utilizing him out of that shotgun set gives them a little bit more punch coming out of the backfield and puts a lot of fear in the hearts of defenders because of his speed to take it the distance. And when you look at the receiving core of the Denver Broncos, Demaryius Thomas, Eric Decker versus the secondary of the Carolina Panthers, being able to win above the run will be vital this week. Peyton Manning can throw up those 50-50 balls in which those receivers will have to come down with the catch. Let's move over to the Panthers in this ball game, and I look at both of the tight ends, Greg Olsen and Gary Barnidge, as two players that are going to be huge in this game plan for the Panthers as they take on the Broncos. Carolina runs a lot of crossers, a lot of stop routes, a lot of stick routes with their tight ends. So if those guys can get involved early, that just opens up everything else for Steve Smith, Brandon LaFell, and David Geddes will see some time this week, but I think it's just going to be on special teams. But it just opens up the rest of the offense, and Newton will be able to find all the targets and get the football to them efficiently. And I think that's what the Panthers offense need, is in particular this week, those two tight ends to step up and have big days. And defensively, it's not necessarily what the game plan is as far as personnel is concerned, but it's mostly Peyton Manning versus Sean McDermott, the defensive coordinator. His job this week will be to keep Peyton Manning guessing. And quiet is kept, like I mentioned before. The Panthers defense has been playing some better football as of late, and I think they can compete in this ball game. They got to win on third downs if they're going to do so, but McDermott confusing Manning will be the key matchup you got to look for. I alluded to it earlier. Third down defense is vital for the Panthers. In order to beat the Broncos, you got to get these guys off the field. The luxury the Panthers have is that their offense is ball control. They can run the rock, so out-possessing the Broncos is key. And you look at the ground game. In order for the Broncos to have success, they have to stay balanced. They have to stay on pace. If they get too pass happy, the Panthers can pin their ears back and get after Peyton Manning and cause a lot of disruption. Now let's look at the personnel breakdown in this ball game. If there's an opportunity for the Broncos, it's attacking the secondary of Carolina. Now for Carolina, if there's an opportunity, their ability to control the line of scrimmage with the ground game, moving those guards left to right, I think that's where they can have some success in neutralizing Von Miller and also Elvis Dumervil. I like the Broncos in this ball game. What I think it's ultimately going to come down to, the Panthers receiving core versus the secondary of Denver. I think the Broncos secondary is vastly underrated. They match up very well, and I like the way both safeties are playing. That's Mike Adams and Raheem Moore. I think the secondary will be the reason why the Broncos go to Carolina and come away with a victory. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Bronco fan forums and Panther fan forums for always showing football game plan support.